My roommate charged me rent for an apartment he didn't even own. About 2 years ago, I moved into an apartment with a guy I met through a mutual friend. He seemed responsible, had a stable job, and said he'd already been living there for a while. He told me he handled everything with the landlord, so every month I just transferred him my half of the rent and utilities. He always sent back a thumbs up, and I never questioned it. For over a year, everything seemed completely normal. Then one afternoon, there was a knock at the door. A man introduced himself as the landlord and asked why nobody had paid rent in almost 4 months. I laughed because I thought he was joking. I pulled out my banking app and showed him every transfer I'd made. He stared at the screen and said, "I've never received a single one of these." That's when everything unraveled. My roommate wasn't actually on the lease. The apartment belonged to someone who had moved overseas, and my roommate had been staying there unofficially. He convinced me he was the tenant, collected my rent every month, and only paid just enough to keep people from asking questions. The rest of the money went straight into his pocket. When I confronted him, his room was already empty. No clothes, no furniture, nothing. He'd packed everything and disappeared while I was at work. A week later, I got a message from someone who found me through social media. They asked if I'd seen him recently. Apparently, they'd also been paying him rent for a completely different apartment. To this day, nobody I know has any idea where he went or how many people he scammed before disappearing.